suppose you can call it, to celebrate the start of this league season. This quick concept is going to be about match play in Dominion, which is, I don't know, it's kind of a meta thing rather than a Dominion-specific thing, but I don't really care. I'm doing it. In Dominion tournaments, and specifically in the league, you play a single opponent a bunch of times in a row, and whoever wins more games is the winner. That's how matches work, although in league play, you're really just trying to win as many games out of 6 as possible. But either way, you're trying to win more games than your opponent, certainly. And this is what I mean by match play, is like, you're in this, call it an arena, with somebody that you have to play a bunch of times in a row. And over the course of these matches, if you consider a league match at 6 games, it's going to be like 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, etc. It could be really long. Those are kind of unpleasant, but kind of keeping your mental game together. Like you're going to be making good decisions. You're going to be making these decisions with conviction. Like you're going to follow through on them. You're going to build your good decks. Being able to maintain this is really important. The one thing that happens in matches is that, like, however it happens, losing tends to lead to more losing. Like early on in your match, you start losing games. Was it your decisions? Are you making crappy decisions? Are we going to start second guessing ourselves? Are we going to start following the opponent? Are we feeling like we're getting, unlucky? And are we going to start, making, I don't know, more rash decisions because we're frustrated? All of these things are things that are bad. You don't want to be, messing with your decision making because you're, I don't know, call it tilted, call it angry, frustrated, whatever. I mean, I do it. I'm not going to say that I'm above this. But, you don't want that to happen. So, you have your own tricks. Everybody has their tricks for trying to stay with this. I don't know. They really slow it down. They try to speed it up. They go get their coffee or whatever. I tend to kind of like revisit games and just, try to get it out of my system on that game rather than the game I'm currently playing. But they're not universal. Like, you have to figure it out for yourself. I'm not going to say, like, you should do like me, and you should start complaining about your previous games during your current one in order to not make bad decisions. I mean, that's why I do it if you ever watch. But you have to find your own thing. The last thing is, these matches is they take 2.5 hours. Especially if you are having to do a lot of thinking. These are exhausting. Like, I usually come out of a match and I go lie down for a little bit. But, you do have to keep performing out to the end of it. And so, one of the things is, like, figuring out where you can do energy conservation. And so, like, knowing if you're really ahead, really behind in a game. It's not necessarily like you have to resign, but you can start putting a little bit less effort into that game. Like, I know I'm going to win this game. Let me maybe not try to find that extreme pile out. Let me just kind of get some green cards and, make it work. Or I'm really behind in this game. I can kind of just go clicking cards as I'm waiting to see if my opponent duds, because that's the only way I'm going to win it. And so finding those little places where you can spend a little bit less energy just to make it a little bit easier to get through that match, and, as I say, keep making those good decisions to the end of it.